Hey there, fellas. Alright, so in this episode, the time has come to finish off our Ladzilla, and there is a ton of work that has to be done. We need to fix the turbo, start the engine, at which point we start testing and fine-tuning, and see how the car reacts. So the previous video ended on a downer. As it turned out, the turbo, well, it wasn't in great shape. It was leaking oil like crazy. Some people wrote that we got the oil supply and drain confused, which wasn't the case. As a matter of fact, we did the plumbing very much correctly. It's all down to the condition of the turbo itself, which we're about to remove and take to a repair shop. Here's hoping those guys do a good job. After that, we slap it back on. Yeah, there's a lot to the assembly process. We'll need a new carburetor, then there's the fine-tuning. We've got a ton of work to do. Alright, let's see where we get with this. New turbo for Ladzilla. We tore the gearbox apart. Translation and voiceover by BMI Russian. Here's what we're looking at, fellas. As you just saw, we had the engine up and running with this new turbo setup. Now let me give you a quick rundown on what just happened. So that old one, we took it to a shop that rebuilds turbos, and so after they took a close look, they were like, here, take this new turbo. Use it instead. We left the old one with them. I don't know, maybe they'll part it out or something. The point is, they gave us a new one. It's all looking pretty good. We slapped it on, it works. You can see how we mounted the carby, but this is where the problems start popping up. This right here is an UAZ carburetor, and It just doesn't have enough flow to get the turbo to spool properly. It just doesn't let the right amount of air through. That's why we saw these joiners start to implode upon startup. And that's no good. This is a clear indication that we don't have pressure in there, which is something we need. So what did we do? We made a trip to the store. It's hard to find a stock ZIL carburetor nowadays, but we did. Now we get to installing it onto the car, firing it up again, then we see how it all works. We've got our fingers crossed that it all comes together beautifully. Okay, let's throw it on and work from there. Let's do this. Okay then, what a lovely evening. And here we are at the test track, about to try driving Ladzilla with its new turbo and ZIL carburetor. We did our best to fine-tune everything back in the shed, and something does seem to be happening. The sensor is showing us some positive pressure, but we were working with no load. It's not like you can just drive and tune it in the yard. The locals would have burned us alive and the car. Here though, we can go a bit crazy. We're not getting in anyone's way, so yeah. Let's see whether that turbo adds to or detracts from performance. I am super curious. Let's go. I like how it fires up. Very nice. What's interesting is that after we installed that turbo, the engine is actually much more eager to start. And now we see what's up. Where we got with this. Oh, you can definitely feel it. Something has changed. Check that out. I'm not gonna say we're running 14 psi or even 7 psi. Boost pressure is pretty modest. I'd say maybe about 3. Fantastic. Though there's still the problem of stopping this warhorse. It's not that easy, given all the weight we got. Let's do this. Please brake. That was 6.1 to 60 Ks. I just saw a massive wheel spin from a dig. Let's have a look. 6.6. That's just unacceptable. Come on now. Hopefully that was good. How do I stop this thing? Still at 6.1. What the hell? Here's the situation, fellas. We're stuck with one result, which isn't getting any better. We've played with the mixture a bit, and now I guess we see if anything changed. But again, we're just doing guesswork along the way. I mean, we don't have a dyno. Meanwhile, Ivan decided that he wanted to go, and I'm like, sure, go for it. I'd also like to add that this thing needs some extra weight over the rear axle. Like, direly. You just get a ton of wheel spin due to the increase in horsepower. Right, let's see if anything's changed. Look here. So the mixture, the turbo is sucking it in with such force that, so it draws the mixture through the carburetor. Go ahead and come a bit closer. You've got gas on the walls, it evaporates naturally, and just look at the intake manifold. It's literally freezing cold. You've got condensation all over it, and on the bottom part of the carburetor too. See the water right here? This turbo sucks in air with quite a bit of force now, doesn't it? The turbo itself is also pretty cold. I take it we don't even need an intercooler. The charge is already ice cold. Not bad, eh? So Ivan wants to have another go. He's like, last time we didn't adjust the screws properly. Good figures, I mean, we didn't even get under 7 seconds. Throw it right into third. Got it? Okay, go for it. He's not gonna spin those wheels. Oh my, looks like he bogged down. That was a serious setback. 5.8. I rule. It was 5.9 before, but hey, I did get a better result. Who are you to argue? $5.5. Yes, we are on a roll, aren't we? Come on, show me how fast I was going. Get over here. See that? 5.5 seconds. Eat that, Ivan. So the clutch, there's literally no feedback. There is no telling whether you've hooked up or not. The only telltale sign is how the engine is running. You really can't feel what's going on with the wheels. Anyway, so I put that one into, what is it, third gear? The other gearbox I put into fourth, which is effectively first. At this point, your skill set is of zero importance. You just dump the clutch. You saw me go a bit sideways. It actually gets up to speed pretty fast. Then you do a quick gear change, and boom, you just did 5.5 seconds. If only up to 60 Ks. But well... Is that the prop shaft? I've broken the gearbox. You just saw us improve the result. If I recall correctly, it used to be around 6 or 5.9. That was without the turbo. And now we easily do... Well, it does take a bit of effort in warming the tires, but I did see 5.5. However, after that, Ivan was like, let's do a burnout, warm the tires up, and try again. We'll get it under 5 seconds. We are doing 0 to 60 Ks, since we don't have that much room. Anyway, here's the point. We warmed up the tires, and it was all going well. We had a tremendous amount of grip. Exactly what we needed, actually. These are some wide-ass tires. We were running a heavy Volga axle, though a bit more load wouldn't hurt. Anyway, we warmed up the tires, albeit we weren't at it for that long. What matters is we maximized our grip. The car even started to hop a bit, but then something bad happened. The Volga gearbox decided to quit. Something's broken in there. I suggest we do the following. We could guess all the livelong day, but it'd be better to get back to base, lift the car, remove the gearbox, take it apart, and try to work out what was the weak point in there. Right, let's pull the gearbox out and have a look. Okay, fellas, we've taken apart the gearbox. If I'm being honest, I'm a bit disappointed. I thought the issue would be more serious. Then again, this isn't anything to scoff at either. Now, let me show you what happened. The input shaft, there are some teeth missing from the gears. 5 of them, to be exact. 3 were sheared off clean, 1 is just sort of rounded, must have been jammed pretty hard, while 1 of them is brushed to the side. Let's look at the intermediate shaft. Right, what do we got here? So this gear, which transfers the rotating motion, the teeth look pretty mangled, as if they were made from tin or something. The interesting part, the gearbox seized up in reverse for whatever reason. When we tried to move the car, we engaged reverse, and it did go in, but then it wouldn't come back out until we took it apart. If you look at the reverse gears themselves, one of them looks okay, while the other is missing a few teeth. How did this happen? Well, perhaps a piece of the input shaft made it over here. Then again, this gearbox was never meant to deal with so much torque. We were looking for grip, which we did find. At one point, an axle shaft let go. We wound up replacing the entire axle. So the current axle is able to hold it together on warm tires, which is very much apparent if you were to observe from outside the car. It's pretty hardcore. But then the mechanical failures move further down the chain. This time we broke the gearbox, and we really don't understand what we could do transmission-wise. Maybe you guys can help us figure this one out. Perhaps we remove... Then again, we should definitely replace that sandwich with just a single gearbox. Maybe we go to an automatic? I really don't know. I'm gonna go ahead and look into what sort of options we have. Okay, so the experiment continues. And that's a good thing. We're slowly working through all of the weak points. We're getting everything sorted, and that's awesome. Okay, so let's think about what to do next. But for the time being, that's all I have for you fellas. Watch us, send in your comments and suggestions. Give us a thumbs up. Alright, catch you later.